Hey there, Laura Kay here. I wanted to give a quick demo of a system that I built for a client that needed a roster, a gallery where they could look through their talent roster. This is a demo version, so it's lightened up a bit, and of course, none of the people here have their real information, but it gives us a chance to look at the system. So this allows you to filter by category, so we can look at only, our hosts or our specialty performers, our actors, and whatnot. You can also sort by city, by special skills, and any of the other fields that you'd want to sort by. This could be added up top here. We also wanted an ability for them to just thumb through by category. They're just looking for singers. It's even faster, just click through that way. And they needed a way to review new talent coming in. So sometimes people wanted to self-submit or agents would submit for them to join the roster. And they needed a quick and easy way to see if those profiles were missing any key details. So this is built on an Airtable formula field that basically calls out, hey, these are a few of the key details that are missing from this profile. You'll probably want to call and get those filled in. It doesn't call out all of the empty fields because that would be overwhelming and not everyone needs everything filled out. Let me look at my own submission here and my cheesy little mug there. So this comes in as a new submission. Once I'm looking at it, I can mark that as under review and then see all the details that I filled out in this form here, which is shared with talent or agents or agencies to allow them to self-submit. This is hosted on Airtable, but you could also use another form builder and connect it with the Airtable database. That's quite possible. For now, we kept this all in Airtable, so we have some required fields here, like their name, their category, and depending on what they put, other fields will appear. So if they are, for example, a dancer, they're going to get asked down below their wardrobe and shoe size. But if they are, let's say, a host, we might not need to know that, so they're not going to give that information down below. So that makes it faster for them to fill out. Same thing for their city. We standardize entries of city names by having them preset, but if there's a city that they need to list, they can type that out and they see city if not listed. Same thing goes for languages that they speak and so on. So once they submit this form, they're immediately going to appear in this casting review page. If you do want to approve someone, you can mark them as active and maybe you want to leave a couple of internal notes on them, and now they will appear in the roster gallery. So now that I've approved myself, here I am with all the same information. We can also put in any admin sort of details like their legal name, their W-9 on file. If you wanted, you could also hide that information. One quick security note, hiding fields on an Airtable interface does not actually hide the underlying data. Most people would not be able to find it, but if someone was technically savvy enough, they could access the underlying data. So that's just a really important note. If this was not for an internal tool, then you would want to have the business tier of Airtable so you could sync this to another table without those fields in the data at all. This client also just wanted to see some stats at a glance, like, hey, how much of our talent is each category? How much is it in each city? How many profiles are under review? This is more like a manager kind of dashboard. And then how many profiles are incomplete and what's essential that's missing for them. Under the hood is the actual database. So some people prefer to work in a database view. They don't want to work in the interfaces. In that case, they can kind of thumb through the same system, basically look at new submissions, look at any missing information. There's different ways to slice and dice the data here for sure. But this backend system is meant to help organize the actual work that you're doing with your talent as well. So casting calls, and then if someone has been chosen for a casting call, that becomes an engagement. So you can actually tag the exact talent into the engagement and then, store things that are relevant to that, like your contract, have you sent them the call sheet, and so on and so forth. So there is a lot more that you can do with a system like this. We actually hooked it up to automations like a notification email when someone submits a new form or when there's been a new change to somebody's profile that hasn't been approved. That kind of thing is quite easy to build on top as well. But this is the basic overview. I hope it gives you some inspiration as to what's possible to build in your systems and in Airtable. And if you're interested in doing anything like this, feel free to reach out and we can hop on a call and talk about your project.